tonight the Islanders hosted the top-tier Colorado Avalanche at UVS Arena, and though they fought to the very end, it was just not quite enough, as they eventually fell 5-4 to the visiting team. The Islanders got out ahead first with a power play goal from Anders Lee, his first of 2 power play goals of the night, assisted by Dobson at 8:59 in the first period. Soon thereafter, though, the Avalanche fire back with a power play goal of their own from Cale Makar with assists from Kadri and McKinnon. We end the first period tied at 1 apiece after what was a rousing effort from both sides. In the second period, there was no change in score, but there were some spectacular saves made by Semyon Varlamov. Varley has had a pretty rough season so far, but a lot of the saves he made tonight were reminiscent of what his performances used to look like at his peak. Dare I even say they reminded me of how he used to look in some of the games he played while he himself was a member of that Avalanche roster before he came to the Islanders. The real action of this game, though, came in the third period, where the Avalanche nailed 4 goals in just about as many minutes, bringing the visiting team up 5-1 by the time the clock read 8.5 minutes into the third period. These goals for the Avs came from Rantanen, Comfer, Makar, and Taves, who used to belong to the Islanders, and all these goals had assists from an entire slew of players across the Avalanche roster. At this point, it seemed as if the home team was done for and were just about to be squashed in their own territory. But just when all hope seemed lost, the Islanders kicked it into high gear and managed to score 3 goals back to back to back in what was truly a whirlwind of skating. The first of these 3 goals came from Anders Lee on the power play, with assists from Dobson and Pajot at 11:58 in the third, and then, a mere minute and a half later, Cizikas nails a goal of his own past Francouz, assisted by Palmieri and Pollock. The final goal of the night came right down to the wire, where Brock Nelson scored at 19:33 in the third. Unfortunately, they just could not get that final goal in those last 30 seconds of the game that they needed to bring this one into overtime, and the clock hit 0, with the final score on the board reading 5-4. This game was the first loss for the Islanders on home ice against the Avalanche since the 2014-15 season, and marks the first time the Avs have swept their season series with the Islanders since 1999. And though tonight did not work out in their favor, the Islanders will have another shot at victory later this week against the Blue Jackets on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, I will be back in New Jersey tomorrow night, where the Devils will then host the Avalanche. Until then, for WFUV Sports, I'm Samantha Bohrer.